Alright, welcome back. I think it's episode 7 right now. It's pretty crazy. But today we have our last day of block 3 before block 4. So the next session you guys will see, not this one, but the next one after this, will be my last primary day of this block, which will be squat and bench, and then after that it will be deadlift. So should be good right here. We have a set of 5 today in low bar squat, followed by some 6s and a close grip bench. Which might push a little bit more. We're definitely going to hit a PR because we already PR'd last week. So getting a pretty big PR today, so that should be awesome. But first off, let's check the body weight. 98.15 is the body weight today, which is pretty high. I think it's PR. So yes sir, body weight still very slowly, smoothly going up, just like we want to. Alright everybody, so let's go through my pre-workout. First off, we have a regular ass pre-workout. Just one that I bought, just saw it, and looked alright, tastes alright. It doesn't have anything that is not allowed to have in the IPF from water, which was really the most important thing for me. So I don't get banned from that. And yeah, then we have some regular ass creatine. Also just gonna take that here just because of like convenience, it's easier to put it in here. And then next up we have some electrolyte powder, which is just to hydrate. So I usually take around 3 scoops of this before my training sessions, which is like I think 700 milligrams of sodium. And I don't remember exactly what it is with magnesium, potassium, but it is a somewhat adequate amount. At least it's adequate for me. I don't get any cramps. I don't have any issues with that at all. So I take that right here, and then I drink it with some water. And yeah, tastes alright. Sometimes I put in some, I don't even know what it's called, but like some lemon juice with some, yeah, you'll see what it is. But it's like something, you'll have to make it like some berries in a like juice thing. And it's like you should usually mix it with like a 1:10 ratio of water, but I just put a lot more of it in, and then you can't really taste the pre-workout and the creatine and all that stuff. It's mostly actually to remove the taste from the electrolyte powder because it's salt and it tastes like salt, which sucks. But drinking this actually tastes alright, just with regular water, and then we go into some heavy squats. So recently I changed my squat form. I mentioned that in a relatively short video where I just posted a top set where I said no squat form feels amazing or something like that. Well, what the change is I've removed my wrist reps. I point my toes a little bit more directly forward and not so much outwards, and that actually feels a lot better for me. So you can see the squat form here looks pretty clean actually, compared to my usual squat. It is not so bendy and weird and a good morning type and stuff like that. I would say it actually looks somewhat like a somewhat normal squat, and it feels way better this way right now. Although I don't think I could have always just changed my squat form to this. It's definitely a combination of what feels best for my body, but also just the added body weight lets me be in some positions that I'm not able to usually be in. But now this will be the new standard, and I think this will be a game changer for my squat. And hopefully I'll no longer be the poverty squat man. So here we take 180 as my last warm to try and gauge where the top set will be. Last week the top set was 190 kilos, so I was expecting quite a bit more than that since squats have been feeling pretty good recently. But it actually felt really good, so I decided to go all the way to 210 kilos for my top set here instead of 5, which ended up feeling really, really good. So yeah, check this out. So, pretty good squat set right there. I'm keeping it fairly sub-maximal, even though sub-maximal now means 10 kilos under my all-time best squat ever. That 220 set of 5 I did once. So, yeah, that's really, really good. So, for back-offs, we have 2 sets of 6 here, 170 kilos. And the reason why this is so sub-maximal is because this is actually a priming session for my primary squat and bench day. So, I have my like heaviest squats of the week Saturday, and this is Thursday, so it's very very close to that. So I'm not gonna squat anything really heavy, but this is what sets me up to do something heavy on that Saturday day. So I still need to do something. If I skip these squats, I would probably feel off Saturday and not feel strong there. So I have to do some squattings here, and then I'll feel better off Saturday in the primary squat day. So for the bench press here, it's pretty much the same story. We have something that will try and set me up for my primary bench day, which is also Saturday. So for this, we have a close grip day. This is also for making sure that if there ever comes any issues with my elbow depth, which there hasn't been ever in international competitions, but if there comes that, then I can always switch over to a close grip bench and I should be good. So we keep some close grip singles in year round. This one is just one single here, last one will be at 140 kilos, and then followed up that by 3 sets of 6, which is just some volume, but it still seems to prime me somewhat good for my primary bench day, although this is not as like refined as my squat. My squat is always having the best day on the primary day, whereas the bench sometimes now recently has had some of its better days in some other days on the primary day. So we might have to change a little bit stuff up here, which is also why I try and push the top single here a little bit more than I usually would, because usually it would be very sub-maximal, the close grip single. But today I pushed it all the way up to, as you can see, 170 kilos, which is a pretty big PR. So in the hopes of that will prime me better for my top set day Saturday instead. So that was a 10 kilo PR since last block, 7.5 kilo PR since last week, 170 kilos in a close grip. That is really, really good. So he would just have some very, very sub-maximal back-offs, 3 sets of 6 at 120 kilos in the close grip. Pretty much about RPE 1, I would say, which is fairly accurate, like literally. I could easily do like 15 more reps, something like that. So yeah, this is just what seems to work for me. This is just what seems to prime me good for my next bench day. So it just is what it is here. So accessories. I will say right here, I actually don't even look that bulked up, which I think is a good thing. That I am heavy but still pretty lean. I don't think there's a big difference in my leanness here from what there usually is, but my body weight is definitely higher. So yeah, probably the creatine is also cheating a little bit with the body weight number with that, because I usually put on like 1.5 kilos purely from creatine, something like that. So yeah. Anyways, accessories. How do we push them 2 days before my primary days? So we just do pretty much what we usually do, because what we usually do is what sets me up for week 3, 2, and 1, and with the projected like squat and bench in week 1, 2, and 3, 3, 2, and 1. We're looking pretty good to set ourselves up with just doing what we usually do. So really no differences in accessories, even though we have really, really heavy bench and squat in just 2 days. That is really the name of the game right here. And for the chest supported rows, I usually use the machine, but I tried it for like 4 weeks now, and I just cannot get it to work really. It doesn't feel good for me. I never get any kind of like actual good back pump from it. So I much prefer these dumbbell seal rows here, and just keep them relatively like slow and controlled somewhat, and just keep it good, good pump in the upper back. That is really the way to go for me. Next up, leg extensions. Added in these for the first time in years recently, so they're pretty fun to progress. I'll probably be able to get the full stack within a few blocks, so that should be good.